In battle, we are reborn.
Mount Targon is a divine filter crafted by the Starborn, revered as gods. This mountain only allows those chosen by the Starborn to reach its summit and claim its power. The ascent's difficulty, duration, and success are unique for each climber, entirely dependent on the Starborn's will and the climber's fate. Among the Starborn, Pantheon, the Starborn of War, is particularly ruthless. His human host, Atreus, endured months of grueling climbing, nearly dying in the process. Upon reaching the summit, Atreus' consciousness was completely suppressed by Pantheon, rendering him a mindless vessel. Unlike others who ascended and retained fragments of their humanity, Atreus, climbing to protect his tribe, suffered the harshest fate. Not only did he endure the most arduous climb, but he also lost his identity, becoming a mere container for the Starborn of War. Atreus hailed from the Rockor tribes and was named after a star in the Pantheon constellation, linking him to the Starborn of War from birth. The Rockor revered martial strength, and like other children, Atreus was trained from a young age. He was never the strongest warrior, and often found himself bested by a peer named Pylus during training. Yet, Atreus' resilience earned Pylus' respect, forging a bond akin to brotherhood. One day, while patrolling with their group, Atreus and Pylus encountered a barbarian invasion. Everyone except the two of them perished. Mourning their comrades, Atreus pleaded with the Solari for retribution, but Leona, the Starborn of the Sun, opposed the idea. Frustrated by the lack of action, Atreus and Pylus resolved to climb Mount Targon in search of power to avenge their people. The climb was brutal. Pylus succumbed to the journey, leaving Atreus to reach the summit alone. However, Atreus was met not with triumph, but with the merciless takeover of Pantheon, the Starborn of War. Pantheon dismissed Atreus as unworthy due to his history of defeat, but claimed his body as a vessel to walk the mortal plane. When Atreus returned to his tribe, it was no longer truly him. Though he retained Atreus' visage, he now wielded Starborn weapons. A shining spear and shield, reminiscent of a Spartan warrior. Pantheon, a name derived from Greek meaning all gods, reflected his esteemed position among the Starborn. With his will imposed upon Atreus, Pantheon descended upon Runeterra, exuding divine authority. Pantheon's primary mission was to hunt and destroy the Darkin, former Ascended, corrupted by the Void's touch, who now brought chaos to the world. In his quest, Pantheon encountered Aatrox, the Darkin Blade, who sought Mount Targon for his own purposes. Aatrox, a former noble warrior turned monstrous by corruption, wielded unmatched power. After a fierce battle, Aatrox plunged his blade into Pantheon's chest, extinguishing the Starborn's will. In a rare twist, Pantheon's defeat allowed Atreus' suppressed consciousness to resurface. Lying on the battlefield, Atreus mocked Aatrox, but the Darkin left him to die, deeming him insignificant without Starborn power. A few hours later, against all odds, Atreus rose from his injuries. The wound that annihilated the Starborn failed to claim his life. During months of recovery, Atreus reflected on his life and beliefs. He realized he had spent his life idolizing the sky, yet the gods had brought him nothing but suffering. Atreus resolved to forsake the gods and rely on his own strength to protect his people. When Atreus returned to the battlefield, he found barbarians slaughtered by Aatrox. Atreus understood that the barbarians were victims of greater forces. Standing between the remaining barbarians and Aatrox, Atreus faced the Darkin once more. Aatrox mocked Atreus, doubting the strength of a mere mortal who had already been defeated with Starborn power. Yet, Atreus' unwavering determination ignited a spark of hope. In a climactic leap, Atreus severed Aatrox's arm, disarming the Darkin blade and toppling his foe. Amid the chaos, Atreus stood tall, a mortal who had bested a god. Looking to the sky, Atreus saw the star named after him shining brightly once more. Renouncing his given name, he adopted the name Pantheon, not as a Starborn, but as a mortal symbol of defiance. He vowed to stand against any power, Starborn, Ascended, or Demon, that sought to impose its will on Runeterra. Thus, Pantheon was reborn, not as a Starborn god of war, but as a mortal, the unbreakable spear. His story epitomizes resilience and the mortal spirit's capacity to defy even the most formidable of deities. Pantheon's journey contrasts starkly with his namesake. The godlike Starborn of War embodied arrogance and tyranny, while the mortal Pantheon represents perseverance and humanity. Unlike Pantheon's cruel fate, there was a little girl who could be considered the chosen one. Not only did she effortlessly gain the power of the Starborn, and she even became good friends with Sol, who despises the Starborn. She is the aspect of Twilight, Zoe.
I didn't even know boys existed. Now I just want one to hold my hand and look in my eyes. A cute one.
Creating videos isn't easy. Subscribing to my channel is my greatest motivation.